حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة. من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد، ومن يعصهما فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد. I begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and recounting His blessings upon us as Muslims, and I ask forgiveness and I ask refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the shaitan and from the evilness of our souls and the mistakes that we commit. Indeed, there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His most perfect worshipper and His last messenger. As to what follows, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, as we have gathered here today on this blessed day of Friday, right after the holy month of Ramadan, in which we were worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immensely and tremendously, in a month which is focused towards increasing your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and developing a relationship which will turn into a lasting relationship. So today's khutbah is concentrated on the point of how to make your game, how to increase your game, making your game much better after the month of Ramadan, and having a consistent approach towards your worship and your relationship. So first off, in the month of Ramadan, alhamdulillah, we're all coming here together in the masjid, we are having iftars, we were praying on time, and many Muslims were actually more conscious and they were more being careful of the times of the salawat. So they would always come up either to the imam or to the calendar, and they would always check what time is which salat. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, that is very nice. But the question I ask you, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, is only the month of Ramadan the month that you check the calendar and you ask the imam for the prayer times? And is only the month of Ramadan the month in which you recite the Quran every single day? Either it is 1 juz or 2 juz a day. Is only the month of Ramadan the month in which you give charity to the masjid? Is only the month of Ramadan in which you do the good deeds that you do and that you come to the masjid and you pray together? That is the question for today. And the answer is that no. Ramadan is the beginning point. Ramadan is the starting point. Ramadan is a month in which you develop that relationship, and for 30 days you are basically doing it as it is a boot camp. So just as for 30 days you are doing something at a boot camp or a summer camp in which you are trying to get rid of your bad habits and you try to install the good habits in yourself, that is the same way Ramadan is for all of the Muslims throughout the world, anywhere. So that is why if you are a Ramadan-only Muslim, this khutbah is pertaining to you. That it is high time, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, that we wake up and we come out of those caves of hibernation and we come forward to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we worship Him as we should worship Him, or not only the month of Ramadan, but as we should worship Him 365 days in a year. I ask another question. In any relationship, is it just that you just have one spurt of a good day and you just have a good relationship with your job or with your marriage or with your child, that one day you are very good with your wife, that you take her out to the best mall and you buy her the best gifts, and you take her out to the best restaurant and you feed her the best food that you can afford? Is it that you only take your child out to the mall, you buy him the Xbox and the PS4 only one day, and all of the other 364 days, you just don't care that child of whatever he wants from you. He wants clothes or he wants food or anything else. In your job, is it just that only 1 week you are just so productive and that the rest of the days you are not productive as much? No, that is not how you should be doing it. With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more important than all of those. All of those are secondary. They come after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is why in the Quran, from the beginning to the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions about the continuous efforts and the continuous actions. In Surah Baqarah, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُونَ الزَّكَاةَ, that they establish prayer and they believe in Allah. It's not just that for 1 day you believe in Allah, the rest you don't. You keep on continuing to believe in Allah. وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ, that you keep on establishing prayer. And وَيُؤْتُونَ الزَّكَاةَ, that you keep on giving charity and zakat. Furthermore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ. It is in the present tense that they keep on giving. That continuous effort is there. And الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَاتِهِمْ دَائِمُونَ, that they pray da'im. Da'imi is also a word in Urdu. That something which is happening forever, again and again. It is keep on happening. And then our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in a very beautiful hadith that Saddidu wa qaribu. Saddidu means to cover up the gaps. There are always gaps in our lives, some problems, some mistakes that we have in our lives. Just as even in Salah, that the Imam, he says, still with Allah, so that please make the line straight, cover up any gaps. Wa qaribu, come closer. If your goal is to get a 90 in a specific exam, what is your goal? Like you want to get a 90, that's your goal, right? But let's say if you don't get the 90, you at least try to get an 85 or an 80 or a 75 or a 70. This is the same meaning of this hadith. That saddidu, cover up the gaps, and waqaribu, like come closer to Allah, come closer to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, come closer to Jannah. That is the main goal of this whole hadith. And then وَإِنَّ أَحَبُّ الْأَعْمَالِ إِلَى اللَّهِ أَدْوَمُهَا وَإِنْ قَلَّ, that indeed the best of actions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He loves severely are those which are small in quantity, but they are continuous. They are consistent throughout. So that is why a spurt of the whole month of worshipping in the month of Ramadan is not enough. As Muslims, we are required to worship and obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam 365 days in a year. And it is understandable that some people, they have some work, they have some other priorities and commitments, and it is difficult for them to come in the masjid. But what about doing it on an individual level? That at least when you go home or you're at home, you keep on worshiping Allah, you keep on continuing those good habits that you have. Furthermore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants the Muslims to become better Muslims in the month of Ramadan. So if you're at level 0, for example, in the beginning of the month of Ramadan, and you fast the whole 30 days, and you are reciting the Quran, you are praying Taraweeh, you are praying the 5 daily salawat, either at home or in the masjid, so your level increases, your spirituality increases. And what that does is that it brings you to another new level, a higher level of spirituality. The main goal of Ramadan, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, is to make us better people. It is to make us better Muslims, but the main goal is to become better people. As in the hadith, our beloved Prophet ﷺ said, خَيْرُ النَّاسِ مَن يَنْفَعُ النَّاسِ, that the best of mankind are those who help and benefit other people. This hadith, it pertains not only to Muslims, but it pertains to all of humanity. Because it says خَيْرُ النَّاسِ. It doesn't say خَيْرُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. So that is the main difference over there. And then so moving forward, so in Ramadan, we have many people that they are worshiping and they start to do good deeds, such as many of them they stop shaving their beards and they give charity every single day. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, these are very good deeds. But if it's not continuous, then again it comes back to that same hadith, that أَحَبُّ الْأَعْمَالِ إِلَى اللَّهِ أَدْوَمُهَا وَإِنْ قَلَّ. A small example for this would be that if you give in charity $1 every Friday, you pay $1 every Friday, and in the whole year we have at least approximately 53 to 54 Fridays. So that's about 53 or $54 a year. Is that correct? So when you're paying that lump sum amount every year, isn't that much better than just paying $100 in just one shot and then you don't donate anything at all? Because that is the main reason. Because when you keep on giving, that counts towards your good deeds, and it will help you when you go in the grave. So these are the main few points that I wanted to mention. Other than that, Ramadan is that month in which you become not only just closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you start becoming better in terms of your family. That you treat your wives, you treat your children with respect. And in the hadith of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, خيركم خيركم لأهله وأنا خيركم لأهلي. That the best of you are the best who are the best to their wives and their household people. And I am the one who is the best amongst you to his wives. So what does this hadith literally mean? It literally means that you take care of your wife. If there are any expenses, or if there are any groceries or any needs of the house and the household, you take care of them. You take care of your children. If they have any needs, you take care of that. Because our Prophet ﷺ also said that whatever money that you spend on your family is also sadaqah. So these are also a few points that we should look forward to. And again, we should always remember this point that Ramadan is that month in which we keep our bodily needs on the lower part, and we keep our soul, our spiritual needs on a higher level. For example, we don't eat or drink in the month of Ramadan. Rather, we are fasting throughout the whole day, and many of us might think that how is it possible for a person to fast 15 or 16 hours for an old man, or for a person who is in high school or college, he has AP exams, he has some other exams or finals coming up in college. But again, this is a real test. Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the month of Ramadan? What is the main purpose? It is to come closer to Him, but what other thing is it? It is to test mankind. In Surah Ankabut, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. That we will indeed test those people. أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا آمَنَّا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا. That we will test them who say that they believe by giving them tests. Because what is the purpose if you just say that I believe, but then when we say that we're going to take a test of you, you say no, I don't want any tests. It is the same way. It is the same way that we do in school or college. That we have tests or exams for people just to know who is a better person, who is the A plus student, who is the honor roll, who is a valedictorian, and who is below, who is failing. That is the main reason how we should do it. So that is how we should go about all of these things in the month of Ramadan. And what else should we do? And how can we become more efficient in our whole life? Inshallah, that we talked about in the second khutbah. أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إن ربي كان غفارا. I ask forgiveness for myself and yourself, and indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most forgiving. بسم الله والحمد لله الواحد الأحد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. I start off by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one, the only, the one who is omnipotent, and the one who does not beget or is he begotten. So coming forward to our main point of how we should do things in the month of Ramadan. So our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Man khafa adlaj, that whoever is scared, he will do whatever he wants in the morning, in the daybreak, in the morning of the time of the day. And adlaj fahuwa balagha al-manzil, that whoever is scared, whoever wakes up at the time of daybreak of Fajr, then he will reach his destination. And ala inna sil'at Allah al-ghaliya, that indeed the merchandise that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to offer is priceless. And Allah inna sil'at Allah al-Jannah. That the merchandise that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to offer is Jannah, is paradise. So, how can we acquire Jannah? Not just by worshipping in the month of Ramadan, but worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout the year. So, in another hadith, our Prophet ﷺ, he said that those people who pray 12 rakahs of sunan, the sunnah muqaddad that we have, which are 2 rakahs before Fajr, 4 before Dhuhr, 2 after Dhuhr, and then 2 after Maghrib, and 2 after Isha. These, if you add them up, they all count up to 12 rakahs in a whole day. So the hadith says that if those who want a palace in Jannah, again, this is not a house or a single family house or a townhouse, this is a palace or a mansion in Jannah, then keep this habit of yours of praying 12 rak'ah sunnah, the sunan and the rawatib, every single day, and inshallah you will get that palace in Jannah for free because you're just praying throughout the whole year. So that's the question. If we were being offered a house designed by the most famous architect in this whole world, and he would say that, oh, Mr. Salman, or oh, Mr. Ahmed, or oh, Mr. So-and-so, I will make your house in this world for free, and I will design it for you. It will have the most advanced technologies, it will have the most labs and everything. So will we not jump on that opportunity? That's the question. Yes or no? We will absolutely jump on that opportunity. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. That if you just pray the 12 rak'ahs every single day of these sunan and rawatib, then I will give you the palace in Jannah. And what else do we want if we get in Jannah? That is the ultimate goal of the month of Ramadan. Therefore, so there are 2 things, 2 advices, 2 nasiha again to basically finish off this khutbah with. So first of all, I would like to advise myself firstly and foremost, and then all of you as well, that we should focus on eliminating 3 bad habits that we have in the month of Ramadan from what we had. Now Ramadan is over, we can still do those actions that we can eliminate the bad habits. So first of all, focus on eliminating the kaba'ir, the bigger bad deeds, which would be shirk, which would be not treating our parents correctly, of drinking and other things such as fornication. These are the main bad deeds. After that come the smaller bad deeds. Again, lying is also another big example. Cheating is also another big example. That whoever cheats is not amongst us. It's not amongst the Muslims. That is also another big thing. So over here, I want to point out to the people in school that when you cheat on a test, when you cheat on a project, when you cheat on anything in school, you are basically also upon this whole hadith. That that if you cheat, then you are not amongst the Muslims. This is what this hadith literally means. So again, that is one thing, the bad habits. So focus on 3 bad habits to eliminate them and make sure that they're not coming in your way again and again. So that's for that. And then for the good deeds. So focus on acquiring 3 good deeds. For example, if there is a person who is not praying, then I advise that, my dear brother or sister, it is high time that you should start praying. As in the hadith of Rasulullah, he said that the difference between a believer and a non-believer is salah. That a person who prays is a Muslim, the person who does not pray is not a Muslim. Therefore, we should try our best to pray. Again, if you are at a level at which you just pray 1 salah every single day, for example, Maghrib. So if you pray Maghrib, you should try your best to come to the upper level and pray Isha as well, or Fajr as well. Come to 2. Whoever is praying 2, come to 3. Whoever is praying 3, come to 4. Whoever is praying 4, come to 5. That is the ultimate goal of praying 5 daily prayers as we have been prescribed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, we should always focus on increasing our spirituality and making sure that our relationship is better with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because again, this is the month of the heart. This is the month of the soul. When we are abstaining from food and drink, we are basically increasing our food for the soul. And our food for the soul is worship. It is ibadah. It is praying. It is reciting the Quran. It is doing charity. It is doing dhikr. And all of these acts of worship. So again, 3 good deeds that we should focus on would be salah, and then also recitation of the Quran. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, many of us were praying, were actually reciting the Quran every single day, at least 1 juz or half a juz a day, so that we could complete 1 whole Quran in the whole month of Ramadan. So if not one juz a day or half a juz a day, at least you can read 5 pages or 10 pages or whatever you can, 1 page a day, one line, at least something, because that will have an effect on your whole daily life. Because the Quran has its own blessings and barakat on you. So, for example, if you wake up to go to school or work at 6 a.m., why not wake up at 5:50 or 5:55? Just have a small 10 to 5 to 10 minute slot for the Quran. Because when you start reading the Quran, you will find that your day will spend in a lot of barakah, a lot of blessings. So that is also one point over there. Another point, that giving charity. Many people, they have this habit of giving sadaqah, giving charity every single Friday, which is very nice. If they can do um, if not every week, you can do at least a fortnight, which is 2 weeks, or at least a month. Whatever is possible for you. Again, these good deeds are being recorded, and they will help you when you go in your grave. They will help you when you stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment. Again, another deed that we could do, so prayer, and then we also have the sunan and rawatib. We can also start fasting. So again, we were in the habit of fasting in the whole month of Ramadan for about 29 days. So we're already in the habit. Our body is already used to fasting for at least 14 to 15 hours. So why not fast in the month of Shawwal? When if you fast in the month of Shawwal for 6 days, you get the reward of fasting for the whole year. So if you can at least manage like a Saturday or a Sunday, like 3 Saturdays and 3 Sundays, inshallah you got your 6 days right there. And besides that, you can also fast on Mondays and Thursdays. As our Prophet ﷺ, he would also fast on Mondays and Thursdays, and it is also the recommended fast. Other than that, Dawood alayhi salam, he used to fast every second day. For example, if he would fast on Thursday, he would skip on Friday, and then he would fast on Saturday. So that is the ultimate fast that Dawood alayhi salam used to do. So again, these are the many acts that we should do after the month of Ramadan. And also what we could do is coming to the masjid. Because again, the masjid is the building block of your community. The masjid is where you come, you meet your Muslim brother or sister, you greet them, you have that social connection. It is basically that community center that you have. And then you can also pray here, you can read the Quran, you can do many things in the masjid. So that is why the masjid has a very high importance on the Muslim community. And that is why populating the masjid is also another big thing that we should do. It is a big responsibility on all of us that we should come to the masjid, pray at least 2 or 3, whatever we can pray, the 5 daily prayers amongst them. So therefore, these are the many advices and nasihas that I would like to offer for this Jumu'ah khutbah. Inshallah, in the future we can do more. And again, just imagine on a small footnote, that imagine if we eliminate 3 bad deeds and we bring in and we install in ourselves 3 good deeds. Imagine what will happen to us 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years down the road. That we would have eliminated many bad habits. Many bad habits have been gone away from ourselves just because of focusing on this whole formula and platform. And if we just eliminate the bad deeds and we focus on the good deeds, we'll become much better people. That our goal should be that when we die, so before we die, our last Ramadan should be the best Ramadan of our whole life. Because if you do this thing this year and next year you make your Ramadan better and better and better, that is how you will get to that ultimate level. That when you are in the last year of your life and you have Ramadan, you know what to do. And when you know what to do, you know what is the success criteria, and then you just go from there. So what happens is that you automatically you get to the best Ramadan of your life. And that is the ultimate goal of ours, brothers and sisters in Islam. And what more can we ask for from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than asking Him for the death in Ramadan, dying in the month of Ramadan? Because again, if you die in the month of Ramadan, you're already forgiven. And even in our community, we had many people who die and pass away in the month of Ramadan. So that is why we should ask for death in the month of Ramadan. We should ask for Shahada, Kalima Shahada also, that we should recite the Shahada, Kalima Shahada, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah at the time of death, because that will also help us in entering paradise and Jannah. اللهم إني داع فأمنه اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر النصر دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم واجعلنا منهم اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين واجعل هذا البلد آمنا مطمئنا سخاء رخاء وسائر بلاد المسلمين اللهم آمنا في أوطاننا وأصلح واحفظ ووفق أئمتنا وولاة أمورنا. اللهم أيد بالحق إمامنا وولي أمرنا. اللهم فرج هم المهمومين من المسلمين ونفس كرب المكروبين وخذ الدين عن المدينين واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وأنعم على حبيب المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون وأقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، قد قامت الصلاة، قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
So, the neighbor, please make the line straight, inshallah. Please make sure that you are standing shoulder to shoulder. There are no gaps in between. And make sure that your cell phones are turned off to silent mode, inshallah. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. So we have a few announcements that for tonight, inshallah, we're going to have the family program. So today's topic is about the Surah Al-Jawad and how we can learn some lessons from that. Other than that, Brother Adam is requested dua for his mother, Brother Session Maria. Inshallah, we'll make dua for Zainab. Inshallah. اللهم انت السلام ومنك السلام تبارك ربنا وتعالى يا ذا الجلال والاكرام. اللهم اعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم اصلح. اللهم be all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please grant shifa kamila adil muslimah to Sister Zainab. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please give her the health, inshallah. يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم. اللهم فرج هم المهمومين من المسلمين ونفس كرب المكروبين وفك أسر المأسورين وخذ الدين عن المدين واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.